This is TJQUaKE News, X that fake, yeah, real news, political, gaming, movies, stick around, we about to get into TJQUaKE News, let's do it.
Let's do it is right. Let's do it, y'all. This is TJQUaKE News, and I'm your host, TJQUaKE. Switching it up a little bit for you guys today. This is going to be something I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, and I just wanted to get on that mix with y'all. This is a WALKAWay video, so it's going to be just a little bit of why I walked away from the Democratic plantation that most black people are hopefully getting ready to get the knowledge, get the smartness to start doing themselves. Start waking up, black people, because we're at war once again with the Dixiecrats and the Democrats, the very people that you guys have been voting for eons and eons and eons and eons and eons. So this is a walk away, and I just want to let you guys know this ain't this is not a Russian robot. Russian bots. The Russians are not making me do this. That's for you, Michelle, because I remember I told you I was going to do that, so I did. I don't know if I did it as good as I did last night. Russian robot bots. Anyway, no, not a Russian bot. Flip next. So all that stupid nonsense you guys keep hearing about Russia, that the WALKAWay movement is it's something that they're doing to make it's a hoax. It's not real. No, people are not really doing that. The CNN and all these other left-wing news media stations are up there trying to tell you this is a big hoax and it's not real. Trust me, it's real and everything. I did this one without putting the whole WALKAWay. I think most of the WALKAWay videos you see on there always start off with a black background and the WALKAWay thing coming up like that. I didn't do that. I think that's something you can do if you go onto what's his name's page. The guy that started it. But this is just to let you know, this is off the cuff. This is real. This ain't no freaking, joke. My WALKAWay moment. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a video today. It's not going to be so much me talking and everything on TJQUaKE News today. I'm doing something different. I normally do the TJ and Quake TJ and MJ Spin Your Dollar, Save Your Dollar movie reviews. I started doing some of my videos like this on that. I kind of want to just keep that separate and just leave that as movie reviews and everything with, me and my beautiful wife, Michelle, MJ. And this is just going to be just straight up about, with the news of the day, what's going on in the world, gaming news, music news. But it's going to be all that stuff that kind of derives to what's going on with our country, United States of America, and how we're trying to come back on top again, make this country to what it was again, make America great again. And I mean that by every means in that manner, make America great again. I can't wait to get me one of them hats. I haven't been able to find one yet. I live in Cali, so, don't know if much of those are being sold here in a democratic state of socialist and bull crap. But anyway, I'm going to show you a video today that's going to let every black person know what the real Malcolm X. All of us all talk about Malcolm X. Remember all the brothers were all Malcolm X, black power, all that stuff. Remember all that stuff? Remember all that back in the day? Malcolm X and them were fighting the real prejudice stuff. They were fighting the real racism. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Yeah, they're the ones that dealt with real racism. They know. They have a little bit more knowledge than a lot of these flipnicks out here right now. Especially some of these white kids out here, these little college snowflake ones and everything. Some of them who act like they think they on our side, trying to act like, they with Black Lives Matter. Some of them trying to act like they for blacks and against for equality and non-racial violence and all this stuff, when they're the very ones that are actually causing that. They're the very ones that are actually causing the divide and everything. Look at yourselves, people. Who's the first person to get you in your face when they don't like what you say? Oh, these Democratic snowflakes. Yeah, they all get triggered. Isn't that the thing they call triggered? Or what's it called now? Trump deranged syndrome or whatever that is. And then Trump derangement and everything. Whoopi Goldberg just bursted into that just not too long ago on The View with Judge Jeanine Pirro and everything. And the judge was up there just stating the facts because Whoopi couldn't handle it. When they can't handle it, they can't handle debate, they start getting mad. Oh, no. And she gets all mad and pissed off and then kicks her off her show. When have you ever seen a show co-host actually kicked their guests off the show because they didn't like what they had to say. Yeah, so kind of. But you know, I never liked Whoopi anyway. Whoopi lost her freaking flow with me back in the day. You know, when she started getting into on the View and so forth, and she wasn't really all that great of a person, from what I've heard from my cousin, who actually worked in a movie with her one time, and she actually just, you know, shined him off like he was a piece of dirt and everything. Yeah, you kind of find out the real idea or the real personality behind some of these so-called celebrities. And you notice it's all the celebrities, not all of them, because you got some of our Republican celebrities out there that are walking away too, and have been walked away. They left that Democratic bull crap. So anyway, this is a little bit of my reason why I left the Democratic Party, why I walked away. And I'm also going to let you see the real deal. Malcolm X up there telling black people back in the day about who the Democratic Party was, and why if you vote as a Democrat, you a chump. From the words of a black man, a strong black man, a man that came out there fighting against real racism, not this fake racism that everybody calls every single thing you do nowadays is racist and everything. They just literally destroyed the word racism. They demeaned the entire meaning behind racism. Real black people back in the day, back in the 60s, back in the 50s, back in the 20s and 30s, and back in the slavery days, those are the people that dealt with real racism. Black people don't deal with real racism today. You might get little specks of it here and there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's no racism in this country or in this world. Yes, there is racism, but nothing compared to the racism that black people dealt with back in the 60s and the 70s and back and further back and everything. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they dealt with real racism. And guess where they dealt with it from, people? The Democrats. Yeah, the real ones that actually hate black people. They're only putting on that disguise for you. But I'm not going to say too much on that because I'm going to let Malcolm X speak for that. He's going to be the one that's going to actually tell you. And if you listen to the words of what Malcolm was saying back then, when he was telling black people back then, and I wish more black people back then would have freaking really woken up and taught their kids this, you know, because Malcolm was telling this stuff back in the 60s. But anyway, just to give you a quick flow on my walkaway moment, technically started, I want to say, right around the time, I think it was around Obama's last term. See, because I voted for Obama twice. Don't know why. I actually do know why. I voted, and I'll be real with you. I voted for him. I never looked at his policies. I was a typical black kid that grew up thinking the Republicans were the bad guys. That's just the way it was thought. You just thought that because you thought they were always the ones that were rich. It was backwards, people. They were never the black guys. They're the ones that actually freed the black people. People actually look at their history books and read their history and get into history and actually learn your history. Start researching, people, because that's what's going to actually wake you up and make you walk away from the Democratic Party. But the thing that woke me up and walked me away was when we had that one terrorist attack in San Bernardino with this supposable was it Islam of peace, the Muslim, the Islamic world of peace. Okay, well, this Muslim who was born here but went back over to, I believe, Syria or Iran or something like that, got himself a bride over there, brought her back on a marriage visa and everything, and decided that they're going to go ahead and kill the people that actually gave her a baby shower and everything at a Christmas party. Yeah, he was a radical Muslim. I'm not saying all Muslims are like this, people. Let's not get it twisted. Not all Muslims are like this. There's actually very nice, peaceful Muslims. I have a lot of Muslim friends myself and everything who I never even looked at like this, ever, and so forth. Coolest people in the world, and so forth. But you got some of those out there that are just take that little Muslim belief and they want to freaking destroy people with it and everything because they think it's their right to go ahead and do that. Well, these fools decided they wanted to do that, and this guy decided on Christmas, because they don't like Christmas, and this is where I'm getting at with my walkaway, is that they wanted to go ahead and kill all their work friends at a Christmas party. Everything. Him and his wife both came in there with, some nice, rifles and whatnot, and so forth. Walked in there and just started spraying, killing everybody practically, and so forth. Walked in there, took everybody out. It was freaking crazy. In the name of Allah, their, jihad, whatever you want to call it. They were freaking, Islamic terrorists. The religion of peace. Yeah, those guys. Those guys they're peaceful. So, So these guys got away with doing that. They get in there and they kill, and then of course they end up with a big old shootout with the police going as they got, when they finally got caught up with, and then they both went out in a glory of flame of bullets and fire. Thank goodness they're dead. I'm glad for that because that's what they deserve and everything. After killing all the innocent people who actually threw them a baby shower and everything. People that supposedly were supposed to be your work homies and buddies, and they want to go on there on Christmas because he doesn't like Christmas because Christmas is against their way of life and their religion and so forth, or whatever. This is a country that we live in, which is what I'm getting at, is that we actually live in a country where we had, Christmas and Easter and all these wonderful holidays that we used to always, that I grew up as a kid enjoying, and Christmas was number one to me. That was number one for me, was Christmas. And till this day, it still is number one for me. Christmas was always something that you could enjoy and everything. That brought family together. There was a time of peace around the world. It was that kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? It was just something wonderful as a child, and growing up, sharing that experience with your own kids later on, and it's just, I always enjoyed Christmas. It was something that brought Jesus into the picture. It always brought God into the picture. It brought, just peace and enjoyment for the kids and everyone else. It was a family thing. It was a fun thing for schools and everything. And that was something that was true to my heart, dude. And when I started realizing later on, during Obama's presidency, how I started noticing that Christmas was becoming something where this whole political correctness stuff started happening. It was slowly starting to become something that I was starting to hear on the radio that was not a good thing. That people were not allowed to say Merry Christmas anymore. You were allowed to, in job places, especially banks and everything, they would say Happy Holidays. Oh, Happy Holidays. And at first I didn't think anything too much of it, but then I started realizing that nobody would ever say Merry Christmas. And then I started seeing that in the political correctness venue, some people get offended by that, and so we're not trying to, we just say we should say Happy Holidays because it's just, it's less offensive. I'm like, what? What? Are you kidding me? We're going to stop saying Merry Christmas because it offends people? Because it offends foreigners coming from another country into our country? You come and leave your jacked up country because you don't want to live there no more because it's horrifying and people are getting killed 24/7 by your own people, by the way, and everything. You want to come here and now you want to stop us from something we've been enjoying for freaking hundreds and hundreds of years. And now all of a sudden it's a problem? Oh, you can't say Merry Christmas. Oh, that's offensive. I remember sitting around with family members and so forth. They said, well, you just make sure that you say things that are nice. If you know that person's not about Christmas and everything, you don't say Merry Christmas to them. You just say Happy Holidays or whatever and so forth. I'm like, forget that mess. I'm saying Merry Christmas. And if you don't like it, too bad. And everything. I have the right to say whatever I want to say. And that goes for anything in this thing. And that's another thing that started tripping me out with the Democratic Party. Because I noticed this was all deranging from the Democrats and everything. But then when Obama, who I voted for twice, decided he was going to stick up for the Muslims on this, and Christmas and blah blah blah, and not everybody understands it, but we shouldn't blame the Muslim community. Let's not get on that. He was making sure that he wanted to make sure that the Muslim community was all good and that nobody was going to say. He didn't say nothing about those people who were killed and maimed by these radical Islamic flipnecks and everything. Not a word. Didn't give a flip about it. He was more concerned about how well the Muslim community was going to feel. And make sure we be cool with them. Let's not push anything, you guys, which is what the media has been doing. Anytime you bring up anything about Muslims, especially in England, what was it, Tommy that just got released? Because, he just, about that whole thing, I'm sure you guys are all hear about that. But that was a big story about Tommy who actually was filming about some flipnicks, a radical Islamic terrorist group that was doing child, slavery and all this other stuff, and messing with kids and stuff like that and whatever. And they threw him in jail because he decided he was going to film it, and he wasn't allowed to put that. He wasn't allowed to put out there that these radical Islamic flipnicks were out there doing this evil shiz. So because London likes to, England likes to keep that shiz on the low, You know, because we don't want the Muslim community to get upset. We want to bring all the refugees in who are terrorists. Not all of them. I'm just saying the ones that'll come in and slip in with the ranks and everything, with the good ones, because there's the good ones, and then you're going to bring them in with the bad ones. The bad ones slip in with the good ones. That's just the way it's going to work, people. That's how they get in and everything. And even the good ones sometimes decide, you know what, yeah, you're right. Let's stick together and freaking maybe we can take this country over. That's really what it's about with those Muslims. It's a jihad. It's a whole freaking, you know, caliphate thing that they're trying to pull and everything. So Obama started siding more and more with that shiz. And I'm starting to see, what the heck is going on with this? He didn't even visit. He didn't visit these people that were in the hospital from that incident until after he was, or till right around the time he was getting ready to go on his little a Hawaii vacation, like 2 weeks later or something like that. That would have been Trump. He would have been there that day and everything. Y'all would never know that though, because the media would never show you that. But anyway, I just started seeing more and more as I started listening to talk radio around this time, and I started seeing things, and I started going, you know, certain things are just not adding up. And then I started realizing, because I grew up as a Christian all my life and everything, and I started realizing that the people on the Democratic side were not, their values were not holding up to Christian values. And this is really my hardcore walk away moment. The Christmas thing really was something that started really messing with me. And I noticed the only people that were for this mess were Democrats. People on the left and everything, you know. And I started saying, why is this? What's going on? Then I started slipping in again into seeing shows like Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, who I thought was racist. I was told he was racist back in the day, right? I couldn't find out as I started listening to these guys. I said, these guys aren't racist. This guy's talking about God. He's talking about this. He's talking about things that I grew up as a Christian believing, you know, conservative ways and everything. I started going, okay, wait a minute, something's not right here. Why is it that I'm starting to see there's something different with the Democratic Party? Now I see why my sister didn't want to vote for Obama. I thought she was crazy at the time. I was like, what, JJ? You're not going to vote for Obama? Come on, that's the first black president. Which was one of the reasons why I voted for him. I'll be honest and everything. I didn't know his policies. I just knew he was black. I just wanted to put a black man in the office. That's what it was all about. Hey, finally black people coming up and everything. Didn't realize that this black man had nothing good to do for us blacks at all. He did nothing for his own daggum area that he came from, which was Chicago, which is in a freaking just crime fest, destructive zone now. The mayor, the governor, all that flip-neck shit is over there in that area in Chicago there, you know. Looks like, you know, it ain't happening. They're trying to get that fool out now because all he wants is mayhem. You know, the police don't even want to go into those dadgum freaking good black people getting killed left and right. Blacks on blacks killing each other. Latinos on Latinos. Latinos on blacks. Blacks on Latinos. All the same. It's all the same bullshit I used to grow up with back in the day in Santa Ana and so forth and everything. And it's just craziness of just mayhem of people killing each other. And this man, Mr. Obama, didn't even step foot in that dadgum state after he became president. Didn't even go in there and try to say, hey, you know, we got to do something about our own neighborhood. We got to get this stuff back. We got to get this crime rate down. We got to stop this stuff. Donald Trump tried to say, come on, let's get in here. Let's stop this shit. Hey, maybe we need to bring in the daggum National Guard and, you know, start patrolling these areas a little more because it's just getting so crazy with gang violence. The mayor say, no, Democrat. You know, so all the jacked up neighborhoods that are, are neighborhoods that are like, you know, Compton, Inglewood, you know, the Detroit, Chicago, all these like ghetto neighborhood areas, they're all run by Democrats. They ain't run by Republicans, they're run by Democrats. The ones that are bringing the shiz down into the ground. But anyway, I started waking up as I started more and more seeing this stuff happen, peoples. And it got to me. It started waking me up. I started smelling that coffee. And boy, the more and more I started seeing how the Democrats were, and once Hillary and Donald Trump started running against, I started even seeing, because I never liked Hillary. I'll tell you that from the get-go. People want to always say Russia, Russia, Russia. Once you guys start thinking about maybe people just didn't like Hillary. I didn't like her from back in the day when she was freaking first lady with Mr. Clinton and everything. I knew there was something about her. I couldn't put my finger on it at the time. And so forth, but there was something about that heifer that I did not like and everything. I knew she was something, she was trying to be the one wearing the pants. And you could see it. You could see she was sitting there conniving, waiting. It's funny, this woman stuck by her man, supposedly. Oh, she stuck by her husband, even though he cheated on her and did all these things. I wonder why. Because she was using Clinton the whole time, because she needed that little stepping ladder to get to the position that she always wanted to get to, which is be a president one day and everything. And that's why she's so pissed off to this day, because she wanted to be the first woman president, and it struck her in her freaking heart because she's not that one, that evil ass crazy woman. I'm sorry, but we can get into her a whole nother time. We'll talk about that on another situation. But anyway, more and more of that stuff, more and more of seeing how Democrats get away with stuff and Republicans don't. It's kind of like these guys can get away with it, but this guy over here that does the same thing, well, he ends up going to jail for it, or he ends up getting, castrated. He gets ostracized. He gets thrown out the freaking zone and humiliated because of something that was no more different than what this person did over here, but these people were Democrats. I'm like, what the heck's going on with this shit? And I started seeing more, and I started watching. I see CNN, I see CBS, and I say, these guys are constantly hating. Only one news network, Fox, and everything, was the only one that wasn't really hating, even though they had some people on there that would hating on Trump. But they were more balanced, which is why CNN is losing all their freaking ratings, people, because they're not balanced. They're not giving you real news. Jim Acosta, you deserve what you got at that daggum rally. People don't like you, dude. They see how you are. They see the real you. They see Satan. They see what they put the sheep clothing on has been revealed. The Democratic Party, you guys have finally shown your true colors of who you really are. And Malcolm X freaking pointed that shit out way back in the day, but not everybody listened. At least some people did, but they didn't teach their kids about it because the kids grew up freaking voting Democrat. Blacks need to get off that Democratic plantation. You guys are voting for a bunch of racists. This is the party that put us in slavery. This is the party that actually wanted to keep us in slavery. The Republicans were the ones that were actually developed to free us. And you guys want to freaking hate on the people that actually freed us? Learn your history, peoples. Stop listening to the lies. Start researching. That's what I did. That's why I finally walked away. And the more and more I see every day, I see how these Democrats, every single day, they prove to me that I made the right choice. Every single day. They prove to me that I made the right cry. God pointed me in the right direction. He said, I'm going to wake you up, TJ. I'm going to wake you up. You're going to see what these people are really about. This is not a party for what I want in this world. The Democrats are against God. They're against the word of God. They're in California now trying to freaking take away Bibles and everything. They're trying to do that because it says something about, man should be with man and woman should be with a woman and all that stuff. And God, fire and brimstones against people that go sexually immoral things. I'm sorry, homosexuals. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Live your life though. I'm not gonna get in your face about it. That's how you want to be. That's what you are. That's what you are. I'm not gonna come at you and you're this and that. That's not what we're supposed to do as Christians. We're supposed to help you. We're supposed to pray for you, and we're supposed to talk to you about God. But Democrats don't want to hear that because it goes against everything that they like to do, which is immorality. They like to fake like they're probably moral, but they're not. So I'm going to go right now because I can't keep going on and on. You guys need to see a little bit of this Malcolm X thing right here. See where the black man, the first black man out there that was telling you to get away from the Democratic Party. Everybody should respect Malcolm X. Everybody does so respect Malcolm X. He was Muslim, by the way, people. Let's not get it twisted. He was Muslim and everything. Sorry for that. I'm sweating a little bit here. And this is a man who's a black Muslim telling you people what the real deal is and everything. The real deal of who the Democrats really are. So I'm going to get into that real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll give a little, whatever. We might even cut in between the little scenes right here and there, So let's go ahead and get into that real quick. I'm going to let you listen to this. Here we go.
And they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. They see that the whites are so evenly divided that every time they vote, the race is so close they have to go back and count the votes all over again. And which means that any block, any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You can keep Johnson in Washington, D.C., or you can send him back to his Texas cotton patch. You're the one who sent Kennedy to Washington. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you backed controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race. And what kind of alibi do they come up with? They try and pass the buck to the Dixiecrats. Now, back during the days when you were blind, deaf, and dumb, ignorant, politically immature, naturally you went along with that. But today, as your eyes come open and you develop political maturity, you're able to see and think for yourself. And you can see that a Dixiecrat is nothing but a Democrat in disguise. You look at the structure of the government that controls this country. It's controlled by 16 senatorial committees and 20 congressional committees. Of the 16 senatorial committees that run the government, 10 of them are in the hands of Southern segregationists. Of the 20 congressional committees that run the government, 12 of them are in the hands of Southern segregationists. And they're going to tell you and me that the South lost the war. Today are in the hands of a government of segregationists, racists, white supremacists, who belong to the Democratic Party but disguise themselves as Dixiecrats. A Dixiecrat is nothing but a Democrat. Whoever runs the Democrats is also the father of the Dixiecrats, and the father of all of them is sitting in the White House. I say and I say it again. You got a president who's nothing but a Southern segregationist. From the state of Texas. They'll lynch you in Texas as quick as they'll lynch you in Mississippi. Only in Texas they lynch you with a Texas accent. In Mississippi, they lynch you with a Mississippi accent. And the first thing the cracker does when he comes in power, he takes all the Negro leaders and invites him for a coffee to show that he's all right. And those Uncle Toms can't pass up the coffee. They come away from the coffee table telling you and me that this man is all right because he's from the South. And since he's from the South, he can deal with the South. And look at the logic that they're using. What about Eastland? He's from the South. Make him the president. If Johnson is a good man because he's from Texas, and then from Texas will enable him to deal with the South, Eastland can deal with the South better than Johnson. When you destroy the power of the Dixiecrat, you're destroying the power of the Democratic Party. So how in the world can the Democratic Party in the South actually side with you in sincerity when all of its power is based in the South? These Northern Democrats are in cahoots with the Southern Democrats. They're playing a giant con game, a political con game. You know how it goes. One of them comes to you and make believe he's for you, and he's in cahoots with the other one that's not for you. Why? Because neither one of them is for you. But they got to make you go with one of them or the other. So this is a con game, and this is what they've been doing with you and me all these years. First thing Johnson got off the plane when he became president, he asked, "Where's Dickie?" You know who Dickie is? Dickie is old Southern cracker Richard Russell. Look here. Yes. Lyndon B. Johnson's best friend is the one who is ahead, who's heading the forces that are filibustering civil rights legislation. You tell me, how in the hell is he going to be Johnson's best friend? How can Johnson be his friend and your friend too? No, that man is too tricky. Especially if his friend is still old Dickie. Whenever the Negroes keep the Democrats in power, they're keeping the Dixiecrats in power. This is true. A vote for a Democrat is nothing but a vote for a Dixiecrat. I know you don't like me saying that, but I'm not the kind of person who come here to say what you like. I'm going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not. Up here in the North, you have the same thing. The Democratic Party don't do it. They don't do it that way. They got a thing that they call gerrymandering. They maneuver you out of power. Even though you can vote, they fix it so you're voting for nobody. They got you going and coming. In the South, they're outright political wolves. In the North, they're political foxes. A fox and a wolf are both canine. Both belong to the dog family. Now, you take your choice. You're going to choose a northern dog or a southern dog. Because either dog you choose, I guarantee you, you'll still be in the doghouse.
I read Genesis. Cain was marked. Therefore, I believe in white supremacy. I believe in white supremacy.
So there you have it, peoples. Malcolm X, with his own words. I just had to show you guys that, that little clip there of, what Malcolm X is in. You got to notice, you got to see all the Democratic Party of today and yesterday, of what they were, what they are, all the way up to Obama, all the way up to little Miss Hillary Clinton, the crooked Hillary Clinton clan. We got to see all that. We got to see what they're really about. People, start researching stuff, because this is what makes people that are people are doing nowadays. This is the reason why, for all you people out there that are saying this walk away movement is fake. It's not fake and everything. It's people seeing stuff what I just showed you right now, going, oh, that's what's going on. Oh, the sheet has finally been pulled off from my eyes. I finally took the blinders off. I'm seeing everything clear now and everything. That's what happened for me. That's how I walked away. I was once blinded, just like all the rest of these snowflakes out there. You could have called me a snowflake, okay? I admit it. But see, I wasn't like hardcore like these motherfuckers. To be honest with you, I never really had a hardcore political view on things. I just kind of went with the flow. I never really paid attention too much to politics. It just never really was my thing. It was taught to me, at least though, in school. You know, I got to learn about the Democrats and the Republicans, but I kind of ignored it. Really, it didn't faze me at the time. It wasn't something that really kicked into gear for me, because at the time we weren't doing stupid shit like we're doing now, which you see every day on TV now with Antifa, Black Lives Matter, people like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Booker, all these people, all with the FBI. The FBI, we can't even trust the FBI anymore, peoples. These people are crooked as all get out. And you know, it's like that show my wife and me like to watch. This I think it's called Blue Shield, with J-Lo in it and everything. And you see how the police force really is. You see how the FBI is. You see how the CIA is. You see how these motherfuckers are behind the scenes. The top guys are crooks. They're freaking crooks. They're evil. And people need to wake up to this stuff. These mayors of all these Democratic areas, they don't give a flip about this city. And black people, I want to just kind of point out to you, the neighborhoods that we live in that are ghetto and everything, this is the one thing you can't really blame even on the Democrats. Want to know why? Because blacks, us Mexicans, whatever, Latinos, whatever, that live in these neighborhoods, we're the ones that did it. We're the ones that caused all the chaos. The police ain't coming in there spray painting the walls and freaking throwing trash all over the place and giving drugs to everybody and putting that needle in your hand to freaking give you drugs, selling drugs to everybody. They're not the ones doing all that shit. It's good old us. You know, us black people. And I'm speaking just for the black people because I'm black, you know. And I just want to put that out there that, you know, I ain't no Uncle Tom. The real Uncle Toms are the people that stay on that daggum Democratic plantation, like Malcolm X was saying. He was calling out who the real Uncle Toms were, who the real, the flipnicks that are still voting for these Dixiecrats, these Democrats, Dixiecrats faking to be out to be like Democrats. The Republicans never were the party of slavery. They were never the party of freaking separation and everything. They were a party of bringing us all together. They were the party that were actually fighting for black people, like those first black kids that got to go to a segregated school, a white school, and they actually had to have the National Guard make sure that they got into the school safely, because the Democrats, people voted Democrat, all them white Southerners back in the day who were the real racists back in the day, okay? You notice the Southerners have kind of moved away from that, and they've kind of finally graduated to being civil and real and taking people in. I thought I lived in a world, in a country now, as far as I'm concerned, and when I grew up, I didn't grow up around a bunch of racist craziness. Yeah, it was there. I faced it here and there once in a while, but it wasn't like something that every day I had to be worried about. I didn't have to worry about walking down the street and worrying about a cop was going to want to freaking shoot me or freaking do something to me. I didn't worry about other white kids. Most of my friends were white kids. My best friend, Bobby Bauer, is white. My other good best friend, Lee Woodall, is white and everything. Matter of fact, Lee Woodall is probably more black than I am now. He probably listens to more hip-hop than I do and so forth. But these were my friends that I grew up with. We grew up in a complex where it was a mixture of everybody and everything. You had a little bit of everything. You had people that were mean. You had people that were bullies. You had people that were some kind of racist, a couple here and there, and so forth. For the most part, I didn't deal with all that stuff. White people were cool with me, and so forth. You know, they might have had some little inside racism here and there, but it really wasn't so to the point what black people really dealt with back in the day, when that mess was on full force, full blown, like just out in your face, you know. These Democrats want to lie to you guys all the freaking time. They use this race baiting crap to freaking separate us. That's the whole point. They're using this as a way for them to get votes. They do it to everything. Do it for the gays. They do it for the the transgenders, the Mexicans, the blacks, any minority race. They try to put into the cesspool and say, look at the white man is hating you, so come over here, vote for us. We'll always protect you from these guys that are racist when they're the real racists. They're the real ones that are using all these terms of racism. You know what the new racism is now? It's basically who you politically go with. You know what I'm saying? The Crips and the Bloods has resurfaced, people. Why you wanna know why I say that? Because Crips and Bloods were red and blue. What is the political arena now? Red and blue. The Democrats are blue. The Republicans are red. Go figure. I used to be a hardcore Crip back in the day, back in my stupid days and everything. And now I'm voting for the red and everything over the blue. Go figure. Everything. It's gang warfare all over. It's Crips and Bloods all over again, people. It's really what it is and everything. You got these Democrats who want to freaking fight the Republicans who are red. And it's going to be a gang war, people. That civil war that everybody keeps talking about that might be starting to get ready to happen, which is, in my personal opinion, has already begun and everything. It just hasn't gotten to this yet. But I'm pretty sure if we keep this stupid shiz up, it will get to this and everything. And people are going to die on both sides. Do you guys really want that? Is that what you guys want? Y'all want to get to this? Y'all keep talking about the enemy's Russia, the enemy's Putin. Them motherfuckers are sitting back laughing at us. They're like, look at them. They all freaking... You want to know the only thing the Russians accomplished with this whole Russian collusion or whatever, Russian interference? You know what they did? It wasn't the interference that's screwing up our country. That's not the interference of getting into our election process. What does that really mean to another country? What does that really gain them? It doesn't really gain Putin anything. What does he give a flip about who's going to be the president and whatnot? Does he really care? I'll tell you what they care about. What they care about is the destruction that is caused in our country. We're still blaming Russia, but we're beating each other up. We're not beating them up. We're beating each other up. We're beating up Donald Trump because they want to say he colluded with them. Come on, peoples. Let's just wake up. That motherfucker did not collude with dadgum Putin. You guys, they would have found this shit a year and a half ago, dude. Come on. They're coming up with Mueller team is coming up with fake ass shiz. They're coming up with everything other than the collusion. They're not even working on a collusion case anymore with the Mueller things. They're going after Donald Trump's people that were, in his campaign at some point. Paul Manafort, the other cat that they're dealing with the girl that supposedly was a Playboy bunny or something like that, and they paid her money to keep the secret of their affair away. What is that got to do with collusion? That's like his personal sex. I don't give a flip about Donald Trump's sexual past or what he did with people. That's what he did back then. Let him and his wife deal with that. But you guys all act like you're more worried about it than Melania is. You're more worried about what he did with some other female back in the day and trying to turn that into something like, oh, well, he lied about it. That means he did something. You guys are a bunch of freaking hypocrites. Every last one of y'all done some dumb, stupid shits. Talking about Donald Trump. Rappers. Let's talk about you rappers out there. Talking about, any of you motherfuckers, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, and all these motherfuckers who are out there freaking talking smack on Trump. Acting like Trump, y'all was all freaking cool with him back in the day. Everything. Y'all freaking people talking about Donald Trump said something about grabbing a woman by her pussy. Like none of y'all niggas ever talked about that shit on your own terms. Oh, when you guys were back in the day, rap music talks about it all the time. Some of you white kids listen to all the time. And everything. Nobody's saying nothing about that. There's more of that shit in rap music than anything. Talk about grabbing girls' booties, pussies, everything. You hold this, hold that. All that stupid stuff. You guys freaking listen to it like it's the greatest shit in the world. But as soon as you find out that Donald Trump happened to say it on a freaking, in a personal conversation with a friend of his, y'all sitting there, oh my gosh, look what he said. Look what he said. He demeans women. Man, stop faking the funk. All you motherfuckers the same way. Everything. Women acting like they ain't never heard that shit before. That's the reason why all these people didn't buy it. When the news media tried to put that, they thought was going to be the one that was going to take Trump down, and it didn't do shit and everything. You want to know why? Because everybody that voted for him pretty much said, yeah, we kind of said stuff like that ourselves. Women probably said the same thing. Yeah, I said some things. I've heard stuff. I listen to rap music says stuff like that. Why am I tripping on? Why would I trip if he said it? All I know is that Donald Trump talks real. He talks like a real street person. He talks like a motherfucker from the Bronx or from somewhere in New York. He's got that New York kind of attitude. He's like, hey, it's me, Charlie, Paulie. Hey, what's going on over here? That's Donald Trump. He's a hardworking, the guy that walks and kills time with the hard workers, the construction workers out there that talk that same slang. That's Donald Trump. No, he's not the greatest in, wording. He isn't the most, diverse in his words, but you know what he's saying. He talks directly to the people. We understand what he's saying because he comes from where we come from and everything. He's a rich guy who still keeps it real. You know what I'm saying? He ain't a rich guy that moved out of the hood and forgot about everybody like most you freaking hardcore rapper, rich motherfuckers like Jay-Z and all the rest of you guys. I don't see y'all going back to the neighborhood. But Trump does. He keeps it real. And that's the reason why people are voting for him. And that's why he's going to win again in 2020 and everything. Because these Democrats keep trying to think that they're going to keep freaking throwing. The more you guys keep talking stupid shiz, the more you guys keep coming at us with dumb, idiotic hate on this man, the more we see right through you. Do you not get that CNN, ABC, NBC? Do you guys not get that? Do you not realize that Fox News' ratings is destroying all of you guys now? You want to know why? Because they're balanced. They're not always hating on this guy. So people are leaving you guys and going over to somebody where there's real news. They're going to places like mine, TJQUaKE News, or any of these other news outlets out there, that are on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of us out here now that have finally woken up and we're getting the real message out there to people. And everything. No matter what these social media sites try to do to us and try to silence us because they don't want you people hearing the truth. That's really why they silence people. There's a reason behind Facebook and all these things, Twitter and all these these high network companies are trying to silence you because they're all part of the left. They're all part of that hard left that are trying to bring this country to destruction. They don't want people to hear the truth. Because if my thing is, if you ain't got nothing to hide, then you don't mind me saying anything, right? You ain't got nothing to hide. What do you should be pretty strong in yourself. A confident person, a confident man can get out there, talk to Spank, and get the girl. The guy who isn't so confident, well, he uses other tactics to get the girl. Lies and deceit and all this other stuff and faking the funk so he can get the girl. Because he has something to hide and everything. He don't want to show his true self. Well, the Democrats, they're the same way. But now, because they're so angry with Trump derangement syndrome, that they have so lost it that they are totally, completely revealing who they are. People, all you got to do is sit back, really look at what the news media says half the time. Watch them. Just check them out. See what news articles they're really talking about and everything. Ask yourself, why don't they ever report on this thing over here or this thing over here or something that's real? How come they don't want to report on tax cuts? How come they don't want to report on all the good things? Donald Trump just had a big meeting with all the black religious leaders and everything in the urban neighborhoods. You notice you didn't hear nothing about that on the news? I wonder why. Because they don't want you to know about it, peoples. They want to hide that shiz. They don't want to talk about good stuff. Another reason why I walked away and everything. So I'm just kind of giving you guys just the real deal. I know this video kind of went a little long. I showed the video with Malcom and everything, but I want you guys to just kind of just like, let's start waking up, peoples. Well, ain't no need for us getting out here boxing each other. Let's get rid of these freaking Democrat flipnecks who are out here trying to freaking bring evil and destruction to our country and everything. We got jobs in this country again. We're trying to protect our borders. I'm sorry, but everybody closes their door at night and locks the daggum thing. Why? Because we don't want just anybody just walking in our house. Because that type of person, remember the Night Stalker back in the day? Back in the good old 80s? Yeah, you know how he was getting into people's houses? Because they were leaving their windows open, they were leaving their doors unlocked, and so forth, and he would just sneak into their house real easy while they were asleep at night, and kill them while they were in their sleep. And then freaking walked right back out the house, ate their food, shiz, and walked out. That's what the Night Stalker was doing, people, because people weren't closing and locking up their freaking homes. Because it was a hot summer during that time when it was happening. Some of you people might want to go back to that time. Go back and, look it up. Night Stalker. Look up when he was doing, how he was getting in. Find out how he was getting into people's houses. Because people left their borders open. Like America, trying to leave their borders open for everybody. We're not saying that you can't come in here and into the country, freely. I mean, or not come to the country, legally. We're saying just don't come into our country illegally. There's a difference, people, when people talk about immigrants. You notice the Democrats will always say this. And pay attention, people, when you listen to this on the news. They always say immigrants. They never say illegal immigrants. You notice they never put the word illegal in front of that? You want to know why? Because they're trying to fool you into believing that these are just immigrants like our forefathers were. Like the people that came here before us. Yeah, the people that came here before us who were immigrants came here legally. They didn't come here illegally. So you need to remember that the word illegal is in there before immigrant. Illegal immigrants, alien. That's what they are. The people that come into the country the right way, go to those daggum border points of entry along our border, and they do it correctly. And those people have to take some time. They have to go through some schooling. They got to get their identification stuff together. It takes them a couple years, 5 years, sometimes 10 years, something to get up in here. I hear stories about immigrants who've been here who say they can't stand these borders being open either because they had to do it the right way, and it took their families 5 to 10 years to get in here. They had to start learning the language, which a lot of these fools don't want to learn the language. They come here and they don't want to learn the language. I had a guy on the job on my job the other day freaking say, was there anyone that speaks English there? I'm like, no, we don't. It's just English speaking here. Do you have an English translator or something? Well, you guys should be speaking Spanish. There's 55 million Spanish speakers in this country. Blah blah blah. You should learn our language. First of all, he's telling us all in English, by the way. And I'm like, listening to this guy. I'm going, really, dude? I'm like, you come to our country, okay, an English speaking country, and you mad because we ain't speaking your language? Motherfucker, you can go back over there where you came from, and now you can deal with everybody that speaks your language. Don't come here telling us and dictating to us how we should be freaking doing things to accommodate you. That's the problem with some of these fools when they come over here and everything. They expect everything free because our government gives it to them free, and they do it off the backs, our hard-earning backs. My money that I make every day got to go to freaking some program that helps benefit them, and they take up all the freaking resources. And so forth. And then you wonder why people get mad. No, come in here the legal way, start getting the job, do everything that we've been doing and everything, and then you'll be the same as us. You'll be coming up here saying, man, you know what, I worked my butt off, I came in here legally, why does he get a free pass? Which is what most Latinos are saying nowadays. A lot of them are like going, nah, that ain't cool. I know you my people, but dang, I had to do it the hard way. Why do you get a free pass? That's what's happening. So, I can go on and on about this shit, people, but the bottom line is we got to wake up. We got to protect our borders. We got to make sure that we don't get people to come in here that want to do us harm, like MS-13 and cartels and all these other freaking flipnecks that want to come up in here and do harm to innocent people who would have never been harmed if these people would have never been able to get into our country in the first place. And now people are pissed off because ICE is getting rid of evil? They're calling ICE the terrorists now? ICE just actually stopped a terrorist who was about to bring in something like 40 or 50 different terrorist people into our country. They were all freaking of some type of Islamic radical terrorist group, and they arrested this guy before he had a chance to get them all in here. If ICE would have been abolished, that motherfucker would have been in here with about 50 to 100 of those freaking crazy-ass terrorists that would have came into our country, and guess what we'd be talking about on the news now? A bunch of people being killed, blown up, stabbed to death, shot to death, and everything. And of course, the media would probably placate it down. They'd go down, let's not call them, let's not get let's not say Muslims yet, let's not go into the Muslim Islamic, radical Islam thing. We don't want to say that, let's not go there. They don't want to talk about the truth because they want to hide this shit so they can get more votes. And that's all they've been doing. And that's what Malcolm X was talking about, people. So that's my piece on that. I know this has gone too long. So you guys have a funkified day. And may the funk be with you. TJQuaKe News out.
Ha, this is TJQUaKE News, X that fake, yeah, real news, political, gaming, movies, stick around, we about to get into TJQUaKE News, let's do it.